Alright everyone, it's Dokkan time, and it is time for the long-awaited EZA for the LR Demon King Piccolo Daima. Daima. I was really looking forward to the EZA for this unit. Unfortunately, it does seem like Omatsu has decided to troll us. I am unfortunately here to deliver the message that he is okay. He's not amazing. He's not crazy. He's not bad, but he's not what he could have been. And I feel like they really purposely attempted to bottleneck him in whatever form. I do not have a roll tips for this unit because I do not feel that there is any reason to. I don't feel like you'll be utilizing him properly to the degree that he needs to be utilized in order to actually see his maximum amount of defensibility usage. I really do feel like some people will just end up bringing him on type advantage type of events. You can probably see some usage out of him, and then we'll discuss it as we go down through his unit breakdown. But as far as his builds go on the side here, you can tell that I have chosen to just primarily go with full dodge and defensive build. 55%, just give him a level 5 dodge orb, give him a defensive orb, and then once you get dupes for him, just give him full dodge and give him the rest into additional and give him all dodge and defense orb. Defense orb I do feel is mandatory, just based on how he is built, just how he is as a unit. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty plain, cut and dry, simple for this guy. He's not like Grandpa Gohan or Aider or any of these other units that have released with him. He's pretty cut and dry. Pretty cut and dry. So let's go ahead and go look over his kit. I hate transforming units because I got to explain them all. As far as his 200% options go, these are actually some pretty poor options in my personal opinion. He feels very old just looking at these 200%. Trunks and the Vegito, these aren't even options in my personal opinion because this is a unit that is part of his kit is locked behind using a full extreme team. So when taking into consideration of leaders, you have to consider their typings in this case. And I don't feel like Trunks or the Vegito Blue are a suitable leader. Not that they really would be in the first place for Demon King Piccolo. But yeah. LR Fusion Zamasu I do feel like is a good option, only because he has so many options as a leader. Like there's a lot of units you could intermix with his team to try and help LR Demon King Piccolo. Vegeta he's a leader. He's a 200% leader. I wouldn't say that this guy belongs on the team, but I wouldn't say he doesn't at the same time. Experiment. Fat Boo, I would say he's a good leader. I would say he's a good leader, only because of the regenerative properties of the team. I feel like there's some support and utilizations of this team and with Hirudegarn's team that you could take advantage of, such as uncontrollable power units, Broly's, Kid Buu. I feel like these two leaders could be very useful for LR Demon King Piccolo if you're looking for a leader. Unfortunately, Ma Jr. has been basically restricted to being a World Tournament unit now. Not to say that he's not good, it's just he's not a good leader, per se. And then there's Path Power Kid Goku, which I would not suggest as a leader for this unit, although he can be utilized. He himself is a 150% Conquest of Terror, a Terrifying Conqueror's leader. He raises his attack and defense by 30% on 12 key, and then stacks his attack and massively raises defense for 1 turn. So yes, he can eventually do some good damage after so many 18 key supers. You're not going to really feel it too much. He randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to tech key spheres. He has attack plus 60% per tech key sphere obtained. Gets key plus 5 and reduces damage received by 50% with 4 or more key spheres obtained. High chance to perform a critical hit with 4 or more tech key spheres obtained. He then has defense plus 100% before attacking. Defense plus 100% as the first attacker in a turn. Launches an additional attack that has a 50% chance of becoming a super and chance of evading enemies' attack plus 30% as the second or third attacker in a turn. Plus an additional defense of plus 60% and chance of evading enemies' attack plus 60% when all allies attacking in the same turn are extreme class. This right here is the exact reason why I was saying you do not want to use super class units with him. He can transform into his restorative youthful side. It happens when there is another Dragon Ball Saga World Tournament or Seeker of the Dragon Balls category enemy right away, or it's starting from the 7th turn from the start of battle. It's a very peculiar transformation ability, but once he does actually transform into his youthful, youth-restored Demon King Piccolo, he actually will greatly raise attack and defense on 12 key, and then he'll massively raise attack and defense on 18 key. Now you would think that would be a lot, but wait till we see the defense. So once he transforms, he actually recovers 59% HP. He has Ki plus 6 attack and he has Ki plus 6 and defense plus 100%, and then he randomly changes Ki spheres of a certain type to Tech type. Attack plus 66% per key sphere attained, 50% chance of performing crit. Remember the rule I said in other videos. If a unit has built-in 50% chance to crit or higher, there is no reason to give him any crit. Contradictory of the fact that he's a frickin' tech unit. Anyways. Plus an additional chance of performing a crit plus 6% per tech key sphere obtained. So yeah, definitely doesn't need crit. With 3 or more tech key spheres obtained. Reduces damage received by 66% for 6 turns for the character's entry turn. And then reduces damage received by 10% per key sphere obtained up to 66% starting from the 7th turn. This would have been a different conversation of him being good or not if this part wasn't in here, starting from the 7th turn. If it just said starting from the 7th turn he loses 66%, but he can still build it back up, I would have been completely fine with that. Defense plus 100% as the first attacker in a turn. Launches an additional attack that has a 50% chance of becoming a super attack. Chance of performing of evading enemies' attack plus 3% as the second or third attacker in a turn. And then plus an additional defense plus 66% and chance of evading enemies' attack plus 30% when all allies attacking in the same turn or extreme class. So once again, you want a full extreme class team. As far as his links go, I wish they were a little bit better. Thirst for Conquest is the major link you're going to want going off, as it's going to give you the majority amount of defense, and then Shattering the Limit, of course. It would be nice to get Incredible Adventure and Guidance of the Dragon Balls off, but it's not always going to be the case. He is on quite a few categories, I will say, which is very good. This is why I said to experiment with him if you do get the chance. As far as like his best link partners go, unfortunately, his youthful and other like older self of him are not great to bring anymore. They have both aged very unwell. They are still very useful to a degree, but these are his best partners, and they're just not for the meta anymore, unfortunately. Maybe if Pilaf gets a EZA at some point, maybe you could utilize him as a partner. Maybe if this STR Demon King Piccolo actually gets a good EZA or super EZA, maybe then we can talk. But otherwise, there's not too many like solid good partners you can utilize, unfortunately. The main links you're going to want are Thirst for Conquest, really. So, I mean, that's pretty much it for him on that. Let's move on to his defense and kind of get to the end of the video here. As far as his defense goes, once again, thank you, Harvard, for your defense calculations. His defense doesn't really change. You can get to a max possible defense of 561k, which is not a lot. And then once he transforms, he can get up to 826k. Now, this is also on a triple super. So if you so wish to get the maximum amount of defense possible and you don't want to depend on the dodge chance, my suggestion to you would be to go full additional instead of full dodge. That would be my suggestion to you on that. I just feel with how low his defense is and how low his damage reduction is, that more than likely you're not getting that triple super. More than likely you're not even getting the double super. You'll probably only super once majority of the time, and you'll be stuck at that 660k defense margin. His defense isn't that great. It's honestly not that amazing. It could be better. It could be a lot better, really. I'm not really sure why they decided to kind of like neuter him in this case. Maybe they thought he would be too good. You know, I don't think it ever should be a case of where a Namekian is a bad thing to make good in this game, considering there's only so many good Namekians. But yeah, I wish he was better. Maybe if we get like off-turn support for extreme units in the future, I think there is possibility in the future to make this Demon King Piccolo good. So please do heed my advice on building and put in infinite equips for this unit specifically. Don't waste good only like one-time equips on him. Put dodge or defense, experiment with the additionals and see if you're okay with the extra defense he gets on additional super, and just see how you want to build him. But yeah, he could be better, but he's not bad. He's still worth EZAing. I will say that he still is worth EZAing. But anyways, everyone, thank you for watching. Let me know how you're going to build this Demon King Piccolo. What team are you gonna run him on? That's what I really want to know. I really do want to know, what team are you going to rock this LR Demon King Piccolo on? And what combos are you going to? I really do want to know. Let other people know. So, thank you for watching. Have a good day and a good night.